Hey guys, Merry Christmas Eve. Today we are going to be dissecting the movie A Christmas Carol. This is the Disney version starring Jim Carrey. So without further ado, let's begin. We start off with a white candle, and it transitions into the candle melting the frost from the work window. What if we are that candle to the divine masculine, melting the masculine's frozen heart? What if our masculines are so afraid because they feel like they are going to get hurt if they let us in? But they are like a moth to a flame, I should say. They are drawn towards us by the way we are. And by the way, if you haven't seen the poem that I wrote called Moth to a Flame, that will be on our Flaming Poets series playlist, so take a look at that later. We then see the title of the movie on the cover of the book, Divine Counterparts. If you like writing, maybe it's a sign that you need to write a book and take a leap of faith. In the same shot, we see a black ink with a quill. Divine Counterparts. This is confirmation that we all signed a contract before coming to Earth. We heard the phone ring and we answered the call. That reminds me, if you have not watched the Shark Boy and Lava Girl video, I will leave that down below, so then you can watch it at the end of this video. We then see the book being opened. Open book is like representing the story of the twin flame journey. Because we need to be open with one another, is what I keep hearing. The movie starts off with us seeing Marley dead in a coffin. Remember this and we'll go deeper later. We see his co-worker and possibly good friend Marley, his good friend Scrooge, confirming that Marley is dead. And he is identifying Marley. The sad thing is that Scrooge is the only one there at his funeral, almost as if he was Marley's only friend, foreshadowing a future video, perhaps. It shows Marley died on Christmas Eve, which is actually the day I'm posting this on. Ooh, Scrooge represents unhealed masculines, which is anger, bitter, vengeful, hateful, cold, distant. And the worst part is, the masculines do not realize they are hurting us divine feminines. He takes 2 tuppence, 2-cent coins, from both of Marley's eyes, representing the masculine's greediness, and how they always want something in return. I do have a slight problem with this. Sometimes it is nice to get something back, but you must remember you reap what you sow. Say you give someone money or food because you see they need it more than you do. Source will add up what you sow and give it back to you 100 times fold. Maybe even 1,000 times fold. It seems like Scrooge got bitter when he lost his best friend and partner. Maybe losing us made the divine masculines more cold and closed off. Again, if I do sound stuffy, I'm sorry. I do have a cold right now. It is snowing, which is, snow can represent purity. Possibly in the divine masculine's heart, we are pure. Maybe we are what keeps them alive. Everyone is afraid of Scrooge. Whoa. Divine masculines, I heard clear as day saying, you have become everything you hate. Masculines, I beg of you, stop pushing your divine feminines away. Stop shutting them out, when all they want to do is love you and show you true love. We hear the carolers singing a Christmas song. Music equals frequency, and frequency equals energy. Maybe that is saying that we need to be careful with what frequency we listen to music in. Just think about it. The rhythm is very important, and so is the vibration. Vibration also equals frequency. So try to listen to high vibrational energy, divine feminines. We need to send light and healing energy to our twin. So high frequency music can help us keep our energy up. Hold on. I just heard the divine feminines and the divine masculines are not on the same wavelength. And I also heard just now, united we stand, divided we fall. Our twin flames need us, even if they don't want to admit it. And that's a hard pill to swallow right there. We see a weather vane arrow pointing in a direction. I believe this is Source telling us and guiding us on where we need to go. Also, there's always Source. There's also something on the top. I believe it's a crown. It's the King of Kings guiding us. Maybe it's the King of Kings guiding us, or it's how our masculines feel about us. I am so sorry. I'm just really trying to get through this. We see a chimney and steam's coming out. Maybe this is a reminder to us feminines or divine masculines, telling us that we need to keep warm every day and we keep them warm by our unconditional love and warmth. Maybe we are their fireplace. 3 kids beg for food and the chef throws kids a piece of meat, but the dog takes the meat. Could this be the masculines begging for us, but then someone comes in and tries to swoop us away from the divine masculine? We cut to exactly 7 years later, and we see the sign gets old and the end tilts. The number 7 is very important. 7 days in 1 week, and this takes place 7 years in the future. God had him wait 7 years for him to receive his blessing and to see his friend and partner again. I keep hearing keep the faith. His new partner Bob is freezing, and only Scrooge has the key, and he cannot get more coal because Scrooge wants all the warmth for himself. Some of you divine masculines may be stingy and never give someone a chance to feel loved by you guys. We see the keys on the desk to the coal, and that can symbolize that doors will be open and opportunities will be unlocked. His nephew Fred walks in and says, God save you. To me, it's almost like his nephew is a guardian angel to him. This nephew sees the good in everything, unlike his uncle who sees all the bad. Even though his nephew is not rich, he is grateful for what he has and gives what he can, therefore he is blessed. He explains that Christmas is the only time that people shut their mouths and open up their hearts to give to those in need. He then says, though it has never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe it has done me good, so I say God bless it. This right here, it is so powerful. This could be, guys, reminded you to appreciate what you have and help others in need. Bob Cratchit applauds his nephew, and Scrooge threatens to fire him. Be careful, divine masculines. Don't let your ego get too big. Even though he is not close with his uncle, he still asks Scrooge to dine with them. Even if they don't accept it, offer it, even if they don't accept the help. His uncle Scrooge says, I'll see you in hell first. Wow, divine masculines, how badly have you been hurt that you won't let anyone help you when us feminines know that you need us? We then see Uncle Scrooge use the fallacy of the red herring, where he changes the subject and asks why he got married when Uncle Scrooge is asked why he is so cold-hearted. Divine masculines, face the darkness, please. His nephew replies, "Because I fell in love," and Scrooge is appalled by that response. We then see his nephew wish Mr. Cratchit a Merry Christmas. As he walks out the door, two gentlemen enter to see Scrooge and Marley. However, Scrooge must tell him that he died 7 years ago to the very night. I feel like this is symbolic in a lot of ways. Not only do we have the death of the ego for the divine masculines, but we also have the unhealed masculine mourning the loss of their ego. The guy tells Mr. Scrooge that they are raising money for the poor and that thousands of people desire common comfort and want to raise money to buy food, clothes, and even blankets. It's time for you to do the same, some good deeds. Wake up, masculines. Open up your heart. When you do, you have no idea how many lives you can save. Mr. Scrooge takes the paper and tries to burn it with a candle. Whoa. I heard clear as day, "Do not destroy your blessing." I don't know who I'm talking to, but that message was for somebody right there. He asks if the workhouses and prisons are still in operation, and the guy says yes. I wish I could say they were not. When the guy asks what they should put him down for, he responds, saying nothing. "Gentlemen, how can you reap what you sow if you never sow?" Answer me that, please. He says he doesn't make that much at Christmas and he can't afford to make idle people merry. Guys, seriously, us feminines are only asking for unconditional love. Most of us would rather be with you and happy than to be rich and not have you at all. Divine feminines love you for who you are, so be yourself. The guy said many would rather die, and he said then they had better do it and decrease the surplus population. To anyone watching this, do not give up. There will always be someone out there for you, and there's always people willing to help you. I will put some numbers and resources in the description and in the comments for anyone who is struggling and needs someone to talk to. We are here for you as well. You're not alone. You will get through this. Reach out to someone, please. The world needs more people like you. Please stay alive. We then hear a clock tower ringing. Maybe divine masculines feel like their time to make a move is running out. Mr. Cratchit asks for the whole day off, and he only does this once a year on Christmas. That not only is a sign of dedication, but also persistence. He locks the key to his shop as if to protect something. That's interesting. It's almost like locking the door represents locking their emotions away and trying to guard their heart. We then see Mr. Cratchit sliding down in the street with the kids. This can be symbolic and a sign that you need to act like a kid again and heal your inner child. There is a huge gate around his house. The house represents his heart, and the gate represents the cage or the titanium wall he built around the heart. Divine masculines, open up the gates. Stop blocking your blessings from coming in, and open up the floodgates and heal. Don't build the Great Wall of China around your heart. He drops the keys and picks it up, but when he picks up his keys, he sees Marley on the door knocker. I see this as a way of your past catching up with you, almost like a shadow. It's always behind you and never leaves. Even when you're in the shade, your shadow is always there. It is just hidden. I hear the word wake-up call. The inside of his house is pitch black, and the only way you can see is through a candle. Interesting. This is almost like the Divine Masculine's mansion in the 5D that I've seen, which will be explained in another video. Also, what if the darkness in the house represents sadness, thoughts of self-unaliving, anxiety, fear, PTSD? What if this represents all the dark places that live within the mind and the heart? Fireplaces can keep you warm and toasty. Again, this is like how us feminines are their warmth and safety. Like, the only place where they will ever feel safe and secure and warm at night. What if we are their reason to live? The bell starts ringing. What if this is a sign that angels are calling you or making their presence known in subtle ways, so you know to pay attention to the signs they give you? We then see Marley with the bricks and chains tied up to him. You know, this makes me think maybe this is the Divine Masculine's karmic debt that we are looking at. Chains can also represent everything that is holding our masculines back. Scrooge asks Marley, "Who are you?" And then Marley says, "Ask me who I was." The masculine's ego is still tied to them like bondage, like a hoarder who doesn't get rid of the past, even if it is so small. They never give anything away. I keep hearing the song Break Every Chain. Mr. Scrooge is asked why he doubts his senses. Ooh, divine counterparts, even psychic mediums. Trust your intuition. I wear the chain I wore in life, he says. I made it link by link and yard by yard. Whoa. Alright. The Divine Masculines are having a rough time. And because of their choices, now they are paying the consequences for their actions. It's like the saying, you made your bed, now lay in it. Marley says something that caught my attention. He says, do you recognize this pattern? Yes. Mirroring. Oh my God. Twin flames mirror each other. I've even seen it with two different sets of masculines mirroring each other. Meaning like two pairs of masculines mirroring each other. It is a pattern, and we must break that toxic pattern and change so that history doesn't repeat ourselves with our kids. The whole time, and Marley says, the whole time, no rest, no peace. In my opinion, evil is an illusion. Illusion in my mind is just low vibrational being. I agree there are some bad ones, but what if good versus evil is a state of mind? Same with heaven and hell, where they say hell is an eternal suffering. I believe hell is real, but as in complete torture of your past mistakes. Same with heaven, where it says you will have eternal rest in the mind. There will be only peace, harmony, and healing. No more mental illness issues, and no more being brokenhearted and feeling alone. You must remember to forgive and love others. Marley then admits he was blinded, and he couldn't see that his life was misused. He says mankind was his business, charity, common welfare, mercy. All of this was his business. He didn't realize none of those mattered. He took his life for granted and didn't have a family because he was so focused on money that he never gave anyone a chance to love him. Money was like Marley's idol, and he worshipped money instead of true love. Marley was not there to frighten him. It was a warning to him about 3 spirits that will be coming to his house. That's a true friend, even in death, caring about his business partner, who was his friend, because that's the only person he had in his life. He says, "You have a chance to escape my fate." That's really good. He's telling Scrooge to not be like him and live his life to the fullest. He wants Scrooge to do what he can't do. Wow, that's really sad. He is now departing from Scrooge, and he pulls the chair forward to the window so Scrooge can see all the lost and forgotten souls. Lost souls, eh? What if this is like when masculine's inner child feel abandoned? They roam around looking for warmth, safety, and security because now they abandon their younger child. It's like their inner child are screaming and crying for warmth and comfort from a divine feminine, so they feel loved and safe. Scrooge then runs and hides. Ooh, divine masculines, stop running and face your shadow self. We fast forward to 1 a.m. This is where the first spirit comes in. Ironically, it is a candle. Well, it's almost like confirming my theory at the beginning of the movie. Scrooge says he's afraid he's gonna fall. Whoa. Divine masculines, take a leap of faith, I keep hearing. When they say it more than once, you know to listen. So please, keep the faith. In my eyes, the candle is like a guardian angel, which he probably is since he is the ghost of Christmas past. He says a line that reminds me of the Bible. The candle says, "Rise and walk," almost like when Peter walked on water in the Bible, or when he told the man to take up your mat and walk. Can the first two spirits represent Jesus? They go back in time to when he was a little boy. Wow. I heard get to the root of the problem. The people in the memory have no consciousness. They cannot see nor hear them. It's like watching a film. They have no conscience that you are watching them. That's what I heard from Source just now. Which that is pretty interesting example, to say the least. They go to the school where he was abandoned by his father. He was never allowed to go home because his father disowned him. It never says what his mom died from, but others infer that his mom died during childbirth, like his sister, when she had Fred. For years, his home was the school, and his sister came to say that she came to bring him home. And then the father was so much nicer. But I wonder if that was the case, or if it was a trap for the father to just hurt him and break his heart again. I keep hearing the words, "Don't look back." Then they go forward to where Scrooge worked back then, where he meets his future wife at a Christmas party, and they are dancing, and it feels like they're the only two people in the room. Ooh, that's right. This is so true, because when you are with your twin, it's like you are the only two in the room. Nobody else exists around you. Believe me. I would definitely know what I'm talking about with that. It feels like heaven, like you're finally at peace. No more suffering. We then go more into the future, and his wife says another idol has replaced her, meaning money. Scrooge says, "There is nothing more terrifying to me than a life doomed to poverty. Yes, divine masculines, if you had to choose to be rich, but lose your twin flame, or choose your twin flame and barely get by, which one would you choose? Let me know in the comments, please." She calls him out and says he has changed. She says, "Our contract is old, and was made when we were both poor and content to be so. And when it was made, you were another man. Ooh, masculines. You changed so much, but in a bad way, that you made your twin flame flee. He gets aggressive and scares her, and she says, I release you, Ebenezer. Sometimes you guys can't live together, and you can't be without each other. And that's the sad truth in some cases. Ooh, she said, if our contract was never made, would you seek me out now? Divine masculines, will you love your divine feminine through everything and anything that she goes through? Do you vow to protect her, love her, cherish her, and take care of her during her dark times? Ebenezer's now ex-wife leaves, and he doesn't run after her, leaving him feeling empty and cold inside. Masculines, if you love your divine feminines, run after them. Tell them you love them and show them. Show it. And I mean show it. Because actions speak louder than words. He then tells the spirit to leave him at once. And the candle says, you can't change the past. They are what they are. Ooh, that's some sad truth. He then falls from the sky. Maybe that's divine masculines coming out of this spell. And life slapping them in the face with reality. That we are their everything, and we are their true love and happiness. Then enters the second spirit. A light comes through the door, and hears a laugh. He goes to see what's on the other side. Ooh. The divine masculines don't see that their blessings are on the other side of the door, and all they have to do is open it. Everything is gold, and he is jolly. He kind of reminds me of a child spirit who is always playful. However, I hear looks can be deceiving. He asks Mr. Scrooge if he knows him, the ghost of Christmas Present. Scrooge replies, saying, never. And then he asks, have you ever walked forth with my elder brothers? He said, you have many brothers? And the spirit said, he has 1,842. Scrooge says, you have scabbard, but with no sword. The ghost of Christmas Present says, indeed, peace on earth, goodwill towards men. The spirit shows him what he needs. He said, touch my robe. That reminds me of the Bible story where the woman touched Jesus' robe and she was healed instantly at the touch of his clothes. They go to Mr. Cratchit's house to show the struggles he is facing and trying to make ends meet with the boy who is sick and cannot walk. The boy says he hopes that the church people saw him because he was a cripple, for them to be grateful that they can walk. Wow. Even though he is struggling, the boy still sees good in everything. They see his nephew's friends talking bad about him, but his nephew still talks good about him. Yes, show love even if they don't show it to you. He wishes him good health even though Scrooge doesn't accept it. Everything goes dark and they are inside a clock tower. The spirit says, my time ends tonight at midnight. This is a symbolic and a reminder to live your life to the fullest. Have fun and be happy. God loves to see you happy. God loves you as you are, even if the world doesn't. Scrooge then sees something come out of the robe, and the spirit says, down here. And then he says, they are men's. This boy is ignorance, and this girl says wants. Beware them both. He then dies, and then the last spirit comes in. Last spirit comes in and shows him what will happen in the future if he doesn't change. He tries to run away from the boogeyman and the black horse, but like I said, you can't outrun the darkness. The boogeyman shows Scrooge a dead body, not knowing it was his. We see them at Mr. Cratchit's, and his son has died. And he will die if he doesn't change his ways. Mr. Cratchit has no money to help his son get better. He saw the pain in his eyes, and Mr. Scrooge shedded tears. They asked who it was they saw dead, and he realized nobody could hear him, and that he is the one that died. Your enemies will come together to plot revenge against you, is what I keep hearing. He sees everyone talking bad about him, and them say that they thought he would never die. Maybe that was a reflection as well as how they treated Marley when he died. Boogeyman takes him to the graveyard where the death of Ego lies. Scrooge says he will change his ways to just give him another chance, and he falls into the grave, but wakes up in his bed and wakes up joyous. He tells the boy to bring him the turkey that was on sale at the bakery. I believe it was a Winnie turkey, by the way. And he gives the boy half a crown. He heads downstairs and dances with the maid. He had fun with all the kids as well. He has turkey delivered to Mr. Cratchit's. He goes to his nephew's house and asks if he could join them for dinner. He says yes, and they all greeted him with love. The next day, Mr. Cratchit comes into work and tells him he's going to raise his salary and help his family with his situation in any way he can. The movie ends with Mr. Cratchit saying Mr. Scrooge was more than his word and was like a second father figure to his son. This movie was definitely one of my favorite movies to do because it's kind of nice to remember that there are people there who loves you for who you are, and to remember that, you're not alone, but you just gotta open up the doors. Let them in. Don't be afraid of our masculines. Let us in, because that's all we want to do is love you. We will always be here for you, but you gotta let us in. How can we be there for you if you never talk to us? So please, talk to your divine feminine, please. I know you're hurting. I feel it. But you just need to remember to breathe. I really do hope you like this video, and I will sound better in more of the later videos, but right now I am getting over a cold. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.